Let's explore the fundamental duality in Buddhism, a deeper dive. This evening's lesson is drawn from the meditation manual I'm currently writing, Easy Enlightenment. Not all dualities are created equal. There are some dualities which are petty and have only to do with preference. Others deal with the very survival. For instance, if we lost the ability to distinguish between a tall glass of water on a hot day and a tall glass of liquid Drano, we'd be in big trouble, wouldn't we? It's been said that the first noble truth is stressors, and the second noble truth, from a certain point of view, is the exacerbation of stress. We evolved the ability to shove some things away and chase after other things. We evolved the ability to actually shove away scarcity and pain and scorn and anonymity. We evolved the capacity to reach for safety and pleasure and love and importance. These things are crucial to our survival. Now, if we stay in survival mode, we will have some pleasures, we will avoid some pains, but we will not drink deeply of fulfillment. It's survival. We need our survival mechanisms, but we don't just have survival mechanisms. Yes, we have a dopamine-oriented reward system, but we have a secondary reward system that is oxytocin-oriented, that rewards not just with pleasure, but with a sense of fulfillment. The fulfillment we get from truly sustainable relationships, be they vocational, recreational, platonic, or intimate. So what gets us in trouble is when we major in minors and when we treat the petty dualities like these survival dualities. So I think you would agree that the difference between a house cat and a charging Siberian tiger is a survival duality. But dealing with things like painful memories or pleasurable memories, painful emotions or pleasurable emotions, painful or pleasurable intentions, painful or pleasurable thoughts, painful or pleasurable fantasies. These things are not life and death, and we need to have a different strategy. One of the most effective strategies is to employ our sympathetic nervous system for mindfulness and our parasympathetic nervous system for meditation. Every time we relax into our exhalation, whatever duality of emotion we might have perceived during our inhalation could be tamed and rendered simply emotion. Whatever malicious or benevolent intention we might notice cartwheeling across our mind as we inhale, as we relax into our exhalation, it simply becomes intention, and so forth and so on. This is just one of the many benefits of learning and training to meditate like a Jedi. I do look forward to chanting and meditating with you this evening after approximately 30 seconds of housekeeping. This is Lama Jigme Gyatso of the Buddha Joy Meditation School. For more than 30 years, I've spent more than 8 hours a day, every day, studying, practicing, mastering, and reverse engineering the teachings and techniques of each sect of Buddhism so that you would not have to. Welcome to Meditate Like a Jedi, which is made possible due to the generosity of viewers just like you. This evening, let us practice easy meditation techniques based on the final meditation manual of the great Tibetan yogi Dza Paltrul Rinpoche. Who is this kind gaze? Well, upon the path of Devadatta, upon the path of being rigid, fearful, controlling, elitist, cryptic, competitive, and cruel, one might view a meditational deity as an object of worship and supplication, but such things make petulant and mewling infants of us all. Far better it is to merely view a yadam or a meditational archetype as simply an archetype whose iconography reminds us that due to the happy coincidences of evolution, we already possess the neurological architecture to practice awareness and letting go, bliss and letting go, as well as love and letting go. So tonight we're going to alternate. We're going to flip-flop, just like cooking pancakes. We're going to flip-flop between mantra meditation and silent meditation. And in between the two of those, we'll do a wee bit of chanting. Therefore, it makes perfect sense to review the meaning of the 6-syllable mantra. Together, let's chant. Om I invoke the wish of ending money, jewel of love, and the purifying beam, lotus of letting go, supplicating with whom may love and letting go be mastered by all. So, what we're really invoking is love. We notice that the more we master love, the more it seems to act like a wish-fulfilling jewel of lore. And so we give it the metaphoric nickname of Mani. We understand, we observe that by practicing letting go in a way that is in harmony with our sympathetic nervous system, that it helps us it serves as a purifying influence in our life. And we give it the metaphoric nickname of lotus in English, or Pemi, which is the Tibetan pronunciation of the Sanskrit word for the same idea. We're using the word hung as a supplication because we don't want to be a selfish bastard. We don't wish to be like Cartman on South Park saying, "Screw you guys, I'm going home." And so we wish that love and letting go not just be for us, but for all beings everywhere. Our first exercise, so all of contemporary Dzogchen can fit into 4 categories. The first category we're going to play with is the category of bliss and letting go. This statue down yonder reminds us of our enlightened potential. This statue up above reminds us literally of the teachings and metaphorically of the sensation of energy, real or imagined. So here's the trick to transform empty-headed mantra recitation into truly, truly beneficial mantra meditation. During the inhalation, we could silently and mentally recite this bit in italics, and during our exhalation, we can physically relax as best we can whilst striving to chant these 12 syllables 4 times per breath. Om mani mimi yung, 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 om Mani mimi yung 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 om mani mimi yung. Now let us play with the first silent meditation of the evening. Let us consider mindfulness. Every time we inhale, whether we mean to or not, whether we notice it or not, we are accessing our sympathetic nervous system, found not in our brain, but actually in the thoracic region of our spinal cord. It has evolved not to indulge either extreme of mind blanking or actively concentrating, but instead to simply notice vulnerably, passively, viscerally, and randomly. So if we're not supposed to actively concentrate upon our breath, then what are we supposed to do with it? We treat our breath the way a piano student treats their metronome. As we notice ourselves breathing in, we could silently and mentally recite the 12 syllables of observation, perceiving this very turbulent play of mind. And as we notice our body exhaling, we could silently and mentally recite an additional 12 syllables of observation, relaxing into mind's non-graspable nature. But come, let us practice this right now. For anywhere from 12 to 16 rounds. As I mentioned a few moments ago, we evolved to perceive vulnerably. In fact, it could be said that the price of mindfulness is vulnerability. Perhaps that is why the two individuals of this meditational archetype are depicted as naked. We now come to our second category of practices, the preliminary practices. We begin with the outer set from a certain point of view, from a more progressive point of view. Together we chant the explanation. Those who tread that path of Devadatta use the awareness of stress to frighten folks into an analog of morality. But upon this path of the Buddha, the awareness of other stress fuels or empathy. So, we're not about fear, we're about love. During our inhalation, please silently and mentally recite this italicized bit. During your exhalation, please physically relax as best you can while striving to chant these 12 syllables 4 times per breath. Om mani mimi yung, 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 om mani mimi yung. And now an explanation. Together. Those who tread that path of Devadatta use the awareness of causality to frighten folks into a form of moral code. But upon this path of the Buddha, the awareness of interdependence reminds us that our love could lighten others' loads. Upon the path of Yang, we frighten ourselves with interdependence. Upon the path of Yin, we use interdependence as an opportunity to lovingly serve others. Om mani mimi yung, 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 om mani mimi yung. Together. Those who tread the path of Devadatta use the awareness of impermanence to promote a fear-driven practice, although upon this path of the Buddha, the awareness of change could fuel our wisdom of letting go. Om mani mimi yung, 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 om mani mimi yung. Those who tread that path of Devadatta use the awareness of the preciousness of our meditation opportunities to frighten folks into neurotic diligence. But upon this path of the Buddha, we joyfully flow from the effortless effort of love-centered spontaneity. Om mani mimi yung, 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 om mani mimi yung. Having chanted the mantra 32 times, we now rest our mind. Let us review the lesson of mindfulness. Every time we inhale, we are wired to notice sights, sounds, sensations, flavors, scents, and the like, as well as emotions, intentions, thoughts, memories, and imaginings. We can notice the external or the internal, the physical or the mental, the pleasurable or the painful, the interesting or the boring, the glorious or the grotesque. What are we to do with all that which we notice? And that brings us from mindfulness to meditation. Every time we exhale, whether we know it or not, whether we feel it or not, whether we mean to or not, we access our parasympathetic nervous system. It too is found in our spinal cord, specifically in both the lower lumbar region as well as the tippy top of the cervical region. It has evolved to support both our physical relaxation as well as our mental release. So to practice the perception of mindfulness during our next inhalation, please silently and mentally recite sitting tall, that you might generate a vertical traction between your thukas and your kepi, as of pulling your head out of a warm, dark place that sometimes we keep it. During our releasing exhalation, let us silently and mentally recite the 3-syllable verb, relaxing. Allow me to remind you, the moment you have a specific question about Buddhist chanting, Buddhist meditation, Buddhist philosophy, or how to apply them, please type your question in great detail in the chat window. I will be elated to stop what I'm doing and answer your question for you. We turn our attention now to the inner set of preliminary practices. Together. In our empathy may we long to free all beings from the tyranny of hating, craving, and confusion. Om mani mimi yung, 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 om mani mimi yung. In all pragmatism, may all liberation of all others be fueled by your reliance on the Buddha's example, instructions, and students, described by the metaphor of the 3 wish-fulfilling jewels. Om mani mimi yung, 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 om mani mimi yung. Rather than squander all time and energy in defensiveness, how much wiser could it be to learn from all mistakes lessons that effortlessly flow from the centered spontaneity of mindfulness and meditation. Om mani mimi yung, 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 om mani mimi yung. A life squandered in competition and greed leads not to peace and fulfillment, better to live in cooperation and generosity. And lives and may this mind shoot out crowns on, and then offer all my stuff to all the beings of nirvana and samsara. Om mani mimi yung, 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 om mani mimi yung. Let us explore the first of 2 fringe benefits of our practice of mindfulness and meditation. We'll put it in the paradigm of good news and bad news, starting with bad news. Every time we train in active concentration as well as active contemplation, Our blood mass winds up gathering at the bottom of our limbic system in an area known as the amygdala, the seat of aggression and anxiety. You can imagine how that affects us. However, when we replace active concentration with passive mindfulness, when we replace active contemplation with passive meditation, our blood mass shifts to a hunk of meat described as our anterior cingulate gyrus, located just a couple centimeters behind our forehead. It functions as the hub of our mirror neurons, the seat of empathy. This is why in days of yore, the Dzogchen Lamas insisted that the highest love is not the product of contrived concentration and contemplation, but the spontaneous byproduct of passive mindfulness and passive meditation. Perhaps that is why this copulating couple, which serves as an archetype of meditation, are depicted as beautiful. During each inhalation, please silently and mentally recite "Notice this." During each exhalation, please continue to recite the three-syllable verb "relaxing." We come to our second exercise of bliss and letting go. Om mani mimi yung, 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 om mani mimi yung. This brings us to our second fringe benefit of mindfulness and meditation. Please consider the gal who is the color of a cumulus cloud as she actively sports in tantric union, reminding us that contrivance is always trumped by spontaneity. Consider now her partner, the color of the azure sky, passively savoring tantric union reminding us that not all spontaneity is created equal, and that the scattered spontaneity we might sometimes experience after our fourth shot of tequila is trumped by the centered spontaneity that is the byproduct of mindfulness as well as meditation. But wait, there's more. When our choices, utterances, and deeds experience the flow and the effortless effort of love's centered spontaneity, our lives could feel as blissful as the real or imagined paradise of even an imaginary Buddha. We shift gears now from 3-syllable exercises to 1-syllable exercises. During each inhalation, please silently and mentally recite the demonstrative pronoun this. During each exhalation, please silently and mentally recite the 1-syllable verb ease, which functions as a synonym of relax. Having climbed to contemplative cruising altitude together as a team, let us meditate as transformatively as General Leia Organa on Ajahn Class under the guidance of Luke Skywalker. Let us now bring the experience of the 4 bases of mindfulness into the conventional path of love and letting go, where it is love that is emphasized. Those who dread that method have auto squander time and energy with contrivances of visualization, emotion, magic, and belief. Upon this path of the Buddha, we simply recite these words in harmony with our breathing and allow our subconscious to do the heavy lifting. May all minds of all beings know be as peacefully wise as the mind of a real Lord. Imagine Buddha symbolized by a tea clay, 1-syllable seed or bija mantra. Om mani mimi yung, 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 om mani mimi yung. May all relationships of all beings now be as joyfully loving as a real or imagined Buddha's communication symbolized by the 6-syllable mantra. Om mani mimi yung, 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 om mani mimi yung. May harmonies of all beings now enjoy the beautiful health seen in Buddhist taunt, depicting the blissful body of a real or imagined devi or yadam and octave enlightenment such as raising. Om mani mimi yung, 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 om mani mimi yung. May all circumstances or lots of all beings don't have the good fortune or boon as a Buddha's real or imagined paradise, pure land of Duality. Om mani mimi yung, 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 om mani mimi yung. Let us view letting go through a physiological lens, embracing the experience of the four bases of mindfulness. Bringing the experience of the four bases of mindfulness into the ultimate path of love and letting go, where it is letting go that is emphasized. Those who tread the path of Devadatta, caught in the thrall of rigidity, confuse metaphors for literal statements. Upon this path of the Buddha, we relax into flexibility, savoring the chance to explain the metaphors as similes. As we inhale, we can notice all minds, perceptions, emotions, intentions, cognitions, recollections, and imaginings quite clearly. Yet as we relax into our exhalation, they can feel as non-graspable or void as a real or imagined bija seed suitable of light. Om mani mimi yung, 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 om mani mimi yung. As we inhale, the interpersonal experience of communication or speech could sound quite resounding. Yet as we relax into our exhalation, it can feel as non-graspable or void as a real or imagined mantra of light. Om mani mimi yung, 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 om mani mani mimi yung, om mani mimi yung. As we inhale, all bodies or forms can feel quite sensual. Yet as we relax into our exhalation, they can feel as non-graspable or if it is a real or imagined octopoiedom of light. Om mani mimi yung, 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 om mani mimi yung. As we inhale, all circumstances or lots could appear quite vivid. Yet as we relax into our exhalation, they could feel as non-graspable or void as a real or imagined paradise or vati of light. Om mani mimi yung, 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 om mani mimi yung. Now let us view letting go through a philosophical lens. Oopsie. Bringing the illusion of the horizontal duality of us and them into the dance of impermanence and interdependence known as Madhyamaka's yoga of inconceivability. All circumstances or lots could be as impermanent and interdependent as if they could blissfully melt into rainbow light that could absorb into this body or form. Om mani mimi yung, 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 om mani mimi yung. All forms or bodies could be as impermanent and interdependent as if they could blissfully melt into rainbow light that could absorb into this communicational speech. Om mani mimi yung, 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 om mani mimi yung. All interpersonal speech could be as impermanent and interdependent as if they could blissfully melt into a rainbow light that could absorb into this mind. Om mani mimi yung, 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 om mani mimi yung. All ones could be as impermanent and interdependent as if they could blissfully melt into a rainbow light that could absorb into a vast empty void. Like the illusion of the infinite azure sky on a bright and beautiful cloudless morn, which although tantalizing to the eye could be not graspable to the hand. Now, let's see here. There's an image I found just the other day I think would be Jim Dandy right here. Insert pictures. Where's pictures? Sky? Is it under sky? Excellent. Here we go. Like the illusion of the infinite azure sky on a bright and beautiful cloudless morn, which although tantalizing to the eye could be not graspable to the hand. Om mani mimi yung, 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 om mani mimi yung. Welcome to this evening's live stream. The essence of mindfulness is to silently and mentally perceive during our inhalation while silently and mentally reciting the demonstrative pronoun this. And the essence of meditation is to release during our exhalation, to mentally release during our exhalation, as silently and mentally we recite the one-syllable verb ease, which is a synonym for relax. Let us bring the 5 body regions into the path of bliss and letting go. Please chant with me. As we relax into our exhalation, whatever lower abdomen we might have noticed during our inhalation could begin to feel as not graspable as real or imagined nomogosity cerebral of green light. So the key to transforming mindless mantra recitation into meaningful mantra meditation is as simple as this. During the inhalation, please silently and mentally recite this italicized bit. And during the exhalation, please silently and please strive to physically relax as best you can, while striving to chant these 12 syllables 4 times per breath. By the way, whether you're a boy or a girl, the womb would be the lower abdomen. Om mani mimi yung, 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 om mani mimi yung. Together. As we relax into our exhalation, whatever navel we might have noticed during our inhalation could begin to feel as non-graspable as real or imagined Ratna Sambhava syllable drum of gold light. Om mani mimi yung, 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 om mani mimi yung. As we relax into our exhalation, whatever chest we might have noticed during our inhalation could begin to feel as non-graspable as real or imagined Nakshobhya Sarabal Hunga blue light. Om mani mimi yung, 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 om mani mimi yung. As we relax into our exhalation, whatever threat we might have noticed during our inhalation could begin to feel as non-graspable as real or imagined Amitabha syllable tree of red light. Om mani mimi yung, 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 om mani mimi yung. I think this would be easier to read if I changed the font, so please bear with me. Wrong button. Let's go over here. Wrong button again. At least I'm consistent. All right, tally-ho. As we relax into our exhalation, whatever chronoscope we might have noticed during our inhalation could begin to feel as non-graspable as real or imagined Vajrayana cerebellum of white light. Om mani mimi yung, 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 om mani mimi yung. Let's see, what is that? 1632. Having chanted the mantra 40 times, let us passively watch the play of mind as we breathe in And let us relax into mind's non-graspable nature as we breathe out. Well, that's weird. Let's delete this bad boy. Okay. Let us bring the 5 perceptions into the path of awareness and letting go. As we relax into our exhalation, whatever sight we might have noticed during our inhalation could begin to appear as non-graspable as a vast empty void. Om mani mimi yung, 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 om mani mimi yung. As we relax into our exhalation, whatever sound we might have noticed during our inhalation could begin to feel as non-graspable as a vast empty void. Om mani mimi yung, 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 om mani mimi yung. As we relax into our exhalation, whatever scent we might have noticed during our inhalation could begin to feel as non-graspable as a vast empty void. Om mani mimi yung, 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 om mani mimi yung. As we relax into our exhalation, whatever flavor we might have noticed during our inhalation could begin to feel as non-graspable as a vast empty void. Om mani mimi yung, 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 om mani mimi yung. As we relax into our exhalation, whatever sensation we might have noticed during our inhalation could begin to feel as non-graspable as a vast empty void. Om mani mimi yung, 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 om mani mimi yung. It has been said the price of mindfulness is vulnerability. Perhaps that is why this archetype of meditation is depicted as naked. Let us bring the 5 mental poisons into the path of awareness and letting go. As we relax into our exhalation, whatever hate we might have noticed during our inhalation could begin to appear as non-graspable as mirror-like wisdom's clear void. Om mani mimi yung, 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 om mani mimi yung. As we relax into our exhalation, whatever pride we might have noticed during our inhalation could begin to appear as non-graspable as the equalizing wisdom of primordial voidness. Om mani mimi yung, 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 om mani mimi yung. As we relax into our exhalation, whatever craving we might have noticed during our inhalation could begin to appear as non-graspable as descending wisdom's bliss void. Om mani mimi yung, 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 om mani mimi yung. As we relax into our exhalation, whatever jealousy we might have noticed during our inhalation could begin to appear as non-graspable as all-accomplishing wisdom's void intellect. Om mani mimi yung, 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 om mani mimi yung. Oh, look at this. Whoops. As we relax into our exhalation, whatever confusion we might have noticed during our inhalation could begin to appear as non-graspable as all-pervasive wisdom's awareness void. Om mani mimi yung, 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 om mani mimi yung. As we relax into our exhalation, whatever we noticed during our previous inhalation could feel less graspable. Perhaps that is why this tantric couple is depicted as being translucent and non-graspable as a rainbow. Let us bring the 5 aggregates into the path of awareness and letting go. An aggregate is just a fancy way of saying component. There are many systems for organizing experience. This is just one of them. As we relax into our exhalation, whatever body or form we might have noticed during our inhalation could begin to feel as non-graspable as a vastum divine. Om mani mimi yung, 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 om mani mimi yung. As we relax into our exhalation, whatever feelings such as pleasure, pain, or neither we might have noticed during our inhalation could begin to feel as non-graspable as a vastum devoid. Om mani mimi yung, 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 om mani mimi yung. As we relax into our exhalation, whatever appraisal of pleasure or pain's intensity or volume we might have noticed during our inhalation could begin to feel as non-graspable as a vastum devoid. Om mani mimi yung, 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 om mani mimi yung. As we relax into our exhalation, whatever impulse, such as pushing, pulling, or clinging we might have noticed during our inhalation, could begin to feel as non-graspable as a vastum devoid. Om mani mimi yung, 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 om mani mimi yung. As we relax into our exhalation, whatever awareness or perception, emotion, intention, cognition, recollection, or imagination we might have noticed during our inhalation could begin to feel as non-graspable as a vastum devoid. Om mani mimi yung, 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 om mani mimi yung. A fringe benefit of training in mindfulness and meditation is that our blood is freed from our anxious and aggressive amygdala and collects in our anterior cingulate gyrus, the seat of empathy. Perhaps that is why the archetypical copulating couple is depicted as beautiful. Let us bring the 5 thoughts into the path of awareness and letting go. As we relax into our exhalation, whatever emotion we might have noticed during our inhalation could begin to feel as not graspable as a vast empty void. Om mani mimi yung, 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 om mani mimi yung. As we relax into our exhalation, whatever intention we might have noticed during our inhalation could begin to feel as not graspable as a vast empty void. Om mani mimi yung, 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 om mani mimi yung. As we relax into our exhalation, whatever cognition we might have noticed during our inhalation could begin to feel as not graspable as a vast empty void. Om mani mimi yung, 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 om mani mimi yung. As we relax into our exhalation, whatever recollection we might have noticed during our inhalation could begin to feel as not graspable as a vast empty void. Om mani mimi yung, 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 om mani mimi yung. As we relax into our exhalation, whatever imagination we might have noticed during our inhalation could begin to feel as not graspable as a vast empty void. Om mani mimi yung, 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 om mani mimi yung. The active manner in which this gal, the color of a cumulus cloud, appears to be sporting in tantric union reminds us that contrivance is always trumped by spontaneity. The passive manner in which our partner seems to savor the same tantric union reminds us that not all spontaneity is created equal, and scattered spontaneity is always trumped by the centered spontaneity that is the byproduct of mindfulness and meditation. Furthermore, when our choices, utterances, and deeds flow from the effortless effort of love's centered spontaneity, then our life could become as blissful as a real or imagined Buddha's paradise. Let us transcend the illusion of samsara and nirvana's vertical duality by metaphorically inviting all the real or imagined Buddhas, their paradises, and their denizens to dwell in the 84,000 pores of our skin. By practicing the body mandala of duality's awareness and non-duality's release. Om mani mimi yung, 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 om mani mimi yung. Om mani mimi yung, 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 om mani mimi yung. Om mani mimi yung, 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 om mani mimi yung. Om mani mimi yung, 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 om mani mimi yung. Let us bring the spontaneous play of mind into the path of awareness and letting go. Om mani mimi yung, 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 om mani mimi yung. Om mani mimi yung, 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 om mani mimi yung. Om mani mimi yung, 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 om mani mimi yung. Om mani mimi yung, 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 om mani mimi yung. Let us seal this practice with a love that wishes for the universal mastery of Buddha's Eightfold Path. May all master change in wishing, love, as well as kind communication, conduct, and calmness. May all master the effortless effort of love-centered spontaneity, as well as mindfulness and meditation. If you feel that I have earned it, you could give this live stream a thumbs up. You could even help support this channel. In approximately 10.5 hours, I would very much like to return to lead tomorrow's early meditation class and group practice. And if you are as geeky as me, may the Force be with you always.